In the second video, we'll continue working with the same dataset and start exploring it in a bit more depth. Let's begin with the first example. Here, we take another look at the top of the dataset. We already know that using this method shows us the first 5 rows by default, which is usually a great starting point. Now, there's an important detail to notice here. Sometimes 5 rows are not enough to really understand the data. That's why we pass a number to the head function, for example, 10. When we run it this way, instead of 5 rows, we now see the first 10 rows of the dataset. This gives us a wider view of the data and helps us spot patterns more easily. Great. Now that we've seen how this works, let's move on to the next example. Sometimes we need detailed information about the dataset, and the info function is ideal for this. It provides us with a lot of useful information. When we look at the output, we can see a summary of the dataset, including the number of rows, the column names, and the data types. We also get information about non-null values, which is extremely useful for understanding data quality. This kind of overview is something you'll use all the time in real data analysis projects. Now that we understand the structure better, let's continue to the next example. In the third example, we start working with sorting. Before running it, notice that we are ordering the data based on the salary column. Let's run it and see what happens. In the output, we now see the lowest salary values at the top of the dataset. By looking at just the first few rows after sorting, we can quickly understand the lower end of the salary distribution. This is a very common technique when you want to analyze numerical columns. Let's keep going and move to the next example. In the fourth example, we are still sorting by salary, but this time in the opposite direction. As you can see in the output, the highest salary values now appear at the top. Showing only a few rows makes it easy to focus on the maximum values without being overwhelmed by the entire dataset. This is especially useful when you want to identify top earners or extreme values. Great, let's move on to the next example. In the fifth example, we introduce filtering. Before running it, notice that we are selecting only the rows where the salary is greater than a certain value. Let's run it and see the result. In the output, we now see only employees who earn more than that threshold, limited to the first few rows for readability. This kind of filtering is very powerful and is one of the core skills in data analysis because it allows you to focus on specific parts of your data. Now let's continue to the final example. In the sixth example, we take filtering one step further by using multiple conditions. In the output, we now see rows that meet both conditions at the same time, for example, a specific salary range and a specific gender. This shows how you can combine conditions to create more precise and meaningful subsets of your data. And with that, we've completed all the examples for this video. In the next video, we'll continue exploring more powerful data analysis techniques using the same dataset. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.